Tom and Jerry, Tom's Tropical Misadventures. After another long day of chasing Jerry around, Tom was exhausted. He really wanted a break. A long break. When the mail arrived, Tom's wish came true. He had won a vacation. Congratulations! You have won a free vacation to Rikki-Tikki Island. Tom imagined how amazing the vacation would be, sitting by the pool, sipping lemonade, and relaxing for hours and hours. Tom packed his bag in 2.4 seconds and was out of there. On the plane, Tom looked out the window. Below him was the deep blue sea. Above him were white puffy clouds, and nowhere near him was Jerry. Ah, he thought happily. It's time to get your parachute on, the pilot told him. Since Rikki-Tikki Island was so remote, there was no place for the plane to land. But Tom didn't care. It meant he was almost to paradise and far away from Jerry. When the door opened, Tom counted 1, 2, 3, and jumped. He was free falling, and at the right moment, he pulled his parachute ripcord. All seemed to be fine until he saw something awful, something that truly frightened him. It was Jerry with a little parachute. Jerry had stowed away in Tom's luggage and had snuck aboard the plane. Once Tom and Jerry landed on Rikki-Tikki Island, Tom wanted to get as far away from Jerry as he could, but it was kind of hard. The island was tiny. Tom checked into his hotel. He hoped it would be as grand as it was in the brochure, but it wasn't. It was horrible. It was run down, old, and smelly. The room wasn't any better. The bed looked lumpy, the bathroom looked dumpy, and now Tom was grumpy. He sat down on the bed and realized that one of the lumps was moving. Tom pulled back the covers. As soon as he saw Jerry, Tom thought, I'm gonna get rid of this mouse once and for all. Jerry winked at Tom and then took off as fast as he could. Tom chased Jerry up, down, and all around the room. Out of breath and out of patience, Tom called it quits. His vacation was ruined. He couldn't get rid of Jerry, so he figured he might as well just go home. But when Tom pulled out his ticket, he had a terrible shock. It was a one-way ticket. Tom didn't want to be on this horrible vacation for one more minute. The problem was, how would he get home? Tom had an idea. He would build a raft. He quickly assembled some fallen trees. Unfortunately, Jerry had the rope. Tom had to agree to let Jerry come with him. They attached the logs together with the rope and put up a mast. At first, there was no wind. Tom blew and blew to get the raft moving. He even tried to use Jerry to get it going. Suddenly, there was a windstorm. All at once, there was too much wind. The raft broke apart. Tom and Jerry hung onto a log as it bobbed up and down in the ocean. Just then, Jerry spotted a passing ship. He flagged it down, hoping they could sail home on it. But Jerry didn't realize it was actually a pirate ship. As soon as he and Tom were on board, they were made to walk the plank. Tom and Jerry landed in the water with a splash. Tom was so mad he refused to listen to any more of Jerry's ideas. Suddenly, Tom spotted land in the distance. He started swimming towards it. He swam so fast, he didn't even notice Jerry tagging along. When Tom reached the shore, he kissed the ground because he was so happy to be out of the water. Then he noticed Jerry and got angry. He was about to squash the mouse when a rainbow caught his eye. The rainbow colors belonged to a beautiful hot air balloon. Tom scrambled into the basket and turned on the burner to get it up into the air. Wait, you can't do that, the balloon owner called. Tom didn't care. He just wanted to get home and far away from Jerry. Tom didn't see Jerry scurry up a hanging rope. When Tom finally did see him, it was too late. The balloon was already high up in the air. At that moment, Tom noticed they were getting very close, too close, to some buildings that had very sharp points. Tom had no idea how to steer the balloon. He looked to Jerry for help, but the mouse didn't know either. Pop went the balloon. Whoosh went the air. Ah! Went Tom and Jerry. Luckily, they landed with a plop in their backyard. After the tough journey home, Tom had never been so happy that a vacation was finally over. For more Tom and Jerry stories, you can check out exciting reads from Capstone